Oh, I forgot to
5,
start recording.
10. I will make ready in action. If I see these people come into view, they're going to have to make a. I'm going to cast Toll the Dead.
All right.
Actually, I'm going to stay where I was. It is the range of 60. Oh, yeah. I got plenty of room. Yep. As soon as they come in to sight, I'm just going to cast Toll the Dead on it.
Okay.
And that's it. Okay.
All right. Cast Toll the Dead.
Yep. Wisdom save
That's it.
DC 17. It passes it.
It makes it.
Does nothing. Nothing. Nothing happens.
All right. This one goes down and attacks tomorrow. Misses. Five, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And one song, I guess. Oh yeah, it's not her turn. Azra is gone. A cube. 5, 10, 15. Okay, Swin Song. If she's here. Wind Song.
I'm here. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Enter.
What about your pet?
Hold on a second.
Your pseudo dragon.
What do I use to hit with him? Do I roll a custom die?
To hit with your pet, click on your pet,
Okay.
and it should show up on your right side, I think.
What do I push? Strength? Or hit? Or AC?
Go down to actions, and you'll see all his stuff. You gotta push to hit.
Click any die to read. Did that work?
Still not.
No?
Okay, you'll see a die, and then a +4.
Okay.
Alright. Anyways, the
Does he have
14.
advantage?
No. No one's near. So, which are you attacking with? Your bite or your sting?
Yeah. No, I hit Sting.
Okay, you hit sting. So let's see. You hit. Let's see. You hit.
Woo! Alright, and let me back out of this. What was that, 30 feet? 32?
Oh, you gotta roll damage.
Oh, oops.
And I must.
Is that the other one? Is that this one?
Yes, it's that one.
Okay.
So text 3.
So did it roll?
Oh yeah. It rolled. Also, I gotta make a DC 11. Oh, it's poisoned. Let's see. Is it?
Can he still fly well?
Let me see, Telpack. Oh, it doesn't have resistance to that. So DC 11 on what? Constitution.
I have to roll Constitution for him?
No. This
Okay.
is the monster that you attacked.
Okay.
Let's see, condition. How many rounds? 1 hour. Let's see, condition. Create condition. Charmed. Paralyzed. Poisoned. I'll just put in 1 hour. 1 H. Alright. And that's it for your turn.
Oh, I can't move him anymore? He still's got 30 in movement.
Well, you sort of attacked him. If you go out of space right now with your pet,
Yeah.
it takes an out.
He gets an opportunity.
Attack. Yeah. It's up to you.
Still kind of want to move him. I mean, he can attack him either way now, right? Because he's sitting right next to him. I'm gonna move him.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see, AC... It's 13. This does a slam attack. Ooh.
Oh. I guess I have to wait, huh? Okay.
5 points damage. Oh, you're not moving?
I'm going to. I was just waiting. I thought I had to wait for the attack to be over before I could.
No, you can move.
Okay.
Don't have to wait for it. But
Nope,
swing got
that's too far. Alright.
And I'll be
Oops.
nice and not roll a d4 of acid damage.
I mean, if you're supposed to, do it.
Nah. I'm being nice. I don't want to kill the little fluffy. Tomorrow, you're up.
Alright. So, as I said, so my first action is to disengage, and Cluckerford is on me. For my second action, for my haste action, I get to dash. Now with my little legs and my last turn to crack, I get to go... Let's see, 7... 27... $52... 60... 73... 83... And I get 2 feet. Boop. And that's it for me.
Alright. Simi,
Yeah.
you're up.
Give me a moment.
Alright.
It's not one to load. Come on. There we go. Alrighty. So let's see. 40 feet. I'll be 60. That's 60. 15. 20. 25. 30. 35. 40. Then I'll do another. Then I can take the dash action. Actually, no, I won't take the dash action. I'll just go right here. I'm gonna go ahead and pop a potion of healing.
Alright.
And heal for 4. Okay. That'll be all I do. And I'll have my, well actually, I have my sword, let's see, 5, 10, 15.
Oh, do you want to pick up the pseudo dragon?
Nah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Alright.
And I'll take a stab with the sword at number 20.
You hit.
For 5 damage.
Alright. Chant is not here. Alright, this one here is the bloop. 5, 10, 15. Same with this. 5, 10, 15. Five, 10, 15, 20. Five, 10, 15, 20. 10, 15, 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. There is 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, 5. Right there. Five, 10, 15. I'll go this way. Soren, you're up.
Hey. So 20 is going to have to make a wisdom saving throw. DC 17.
Fails.
Takes 15 points of damage. I call for Fluffy. Hey, Fluffy! Come, Fluffy! That's 15. Hmm. 15. I got 15 more feet to go. Can I wait till Fluffy comes over and then move 15 more feet?
I see.
And
It
split
has
up my movement?
It has a 60 feet flying speed.
Oh, okay. Then I could move my 30. But I'm calling for Fluffy! That's 8. There we go. There we go. That's what I got. Fluffy!
Oh, come on. 5, 10, 15, 20. That one stays. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20. This one attacks Simi with disadvantage and misses. Okay, Azra is not here. It's an Atlas Cube.
Didn't
5,
Fluffy go?
10, 15. Fluffy's on.
Because he
Windsong's
was
turn.
20. You just did 20. Oh, got it.
Yeah, Fluffy goes
It shows
on.
21. So that's why I was like, oh. Okay.
Fluffy don't. In fact, Fluffy goes now. And so does Windsong. Windsong. Naga?
Fluffy! Oh, Fluffy!
Fluffy!
Fluffy! Come, Fluffy!
I guess Naga's AFK. I'm just imagining. Oh, never mind. Oh, is that you? Or Windsong?
It's me.
Oh, it's Windsong. Oh, you hear
Hello.
inside your head, Fluffy. Me hurt. Me pain.
Am I allowed to change that movement?
Okay, tomorrow.
I can do nothing as the crack wears off. I mean, the haste wears off.
I'm just assuming you're getting on the boat.
Nope, I can't do anything.
Oh yeah, that's right. The spell. Simi.
Alright, I'll call over my sword. We're gonna take the... let's see. Yeah, we'll take the disengage action. We'll just go over here.
Alright.
And let's see if I'll have that. Wait a minute. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Oh, right here then. That's 30.
Okay.
And yeah, that'll be my turn.
Chance gone. Five, 10, 15, 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. I know it's all these time. Just gonna put these right there. Oops. Five, 10, 15, 20. Soren, you're up.
Okay. Alright. Number 20 has to make a wisdom saving throw. DC 17.
Fails.
Takes 14 more points of necrotic damage. And that's where I end.
Okay. The Suze puts out a blubbered sound. And just stays where it is. This one just stays. Azra's gone. Defenders. Q hears this. Or didn't hear it. Probably. Then say, okay. Wind song.
Hey, I'm here. Sorry for being late.
It's alright.
Mom, are you okay? Do you need help getting to the boat?
I'm just huffing and puffing and going real slow.
Would you like any assistance?
Still huffing and puffing and going real slow.
Can I try to just like levitate tomorrow into the boat?
Oh, you used that ability already. Remember the things in the water here? Yeah, you gotta take a kind of a short rest. Let's see,
Or
yeah, you
so
gotta
we
take
just
a
kind of
rest.
we get on the boat.
Alright. You just hold your action. Pretty much. To help tomorrow.
Oh yeah, can I give him the help action?
Everybody's going to be in the boat anyways. Tomorrow, you're up.
Alright. So I know you want me to go in the boat, but I'm afraid if I just like jump in the boat, I will sink the boat. Because even though I may not weigh a lot, my gear does.
Oh, don't worry. The boat can handle it. You traveled here.
Alright, jump on the boat.
Alright. Simeon.
I'm gonna take the dash action and hop onto the boat.
Alright. Chance done. I know everybody's gonna be at the boat, so I'm skipping. Thorn.
Okay. I'm gonna hold an action until 20 comes down, and I'm gonna hit him with Toll the Dead.
Alright.
Yeah.
And 20's not going to come. It's going back.
Okay, is all the monsters going back?
No. You don't know that right there. So wind songs on the way. Sumi. Chant. Slime's going advanced. 5, 10, 15, 20. Ten, 15, 20. Oh, also note, you cannot attack around corners.
Okay.
Okay. 5, 10, 15. 5, 10. Ten, 15, 20. Oh, there's that. Soren, you're up.
Using my action to dash.
Alright.
Here.
Okay, you all got on boats. And you're rowing back into town.
Alright, when we get back to town, I suggest that, we get reinforcements until we can get back. I'll go, I say to, Thorn, do you want to see if you can get help from the school while I see, if, we can get any of the guard to, hold down until we can get back?
Oh, we're fine. As long as we just haven't tell the guards no one to come this way, we'll be fine. We'll be able to take a long rest and come back and clear it all up. Or if we want, we could probably camp right in here and reset everything. Sure as spend a couple hours searching everything and nothing's there, we'll be able to head right back in and probably set up camp right there. I described the area with the rats we started off with.
I'd much rather go to town.
Or we could go to town and rest up there and tell the guards not to show up. Let anybody come down this way. Oop, sorry.
Yes, that sounds like a good idea.
Alright, and so I'm going to send Cluckerford flying over to, oh, shit. Should be on the other one, but whatever. I'll send Cluckerford over to talk to Azur and them to tell them to come on back. We're gonna rest there. You don't have to worry about telling everybody.
That's quite long.
We're in dire. We don't need them in dire. Cluckerford can eventually fly his happy butt over there.
They're
Eventually.
They're most likely be in town by then.
So, how many minutes is it going to take for Cluckerford to catch up? I mean, they've been ahead of us for maybe a minute. So you're telling me somebody flying is slower than
What's
somebody rowing a boat?
See the flying
Cluckerford,
speed.
30 feet. Or 60 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in the boat with the two strong men.
Yeah, they have virtually no strength.
Yeah, the problem right now is Phil and Shibby isn't really here.
I'm just telling them not to alert the guard. That's all I want to do, is so when they get over there, they don't have to worry about alerting the guard.
Alright.
That's it.
Okay. I gotta switch off dark mode in the browser. It saves my eyes, but I gotta see the finish on which is dead and which is not. Let's see, tokens. That can go. That stays. Okay, that. I gotta do a check. That's a lot. Keep those. Okay, finish the count. Alright. That should clear it up. And then, yeah, I gotta do stuff. So, roleplay.
So why am I here anyway? Y'all didn't actually explain that. I just kind of came here for the money, so I can go get some more exotic stuff.
Well, you see, when I kind of look at you and I just like, when a mommy lion man and a daddy lion man love each other very much, they start doing things.
You think all my people are just lion people?
I say, I don't know.
Racist.
Yeah.
So, getting back on your smart-ass comments, I meant here as in the group. What the hell are we even doing here?
That is also a good question.
We just go where we're told.
You were one of those, so what was that other portal thing that you came out of, looking like? I didn't get a good look at it, I was too busy, fighting a giant dead fish. With my dead fish.
What portal?
There was a portal thing, and, some of you guys, came out of it. What was that all about?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I must have missed something big as far as what like, out of character, I don't know what the fuck you're on about. Is that like part of the actual like stories? Everyone came from like some other area of the like universe or some shit?
Well,
No,
okay,
No.
for brevity's sakes, a couple of sessions ago, I had you and Winsong just come out a portal.
Yeah, no. You must. I must have not been there for that part.
Oh yeah.
Because all I
that's right.
remember.
Oh wait a minute. No, it's Windsong that came out.
It went from
As far as my character knows, all the new people came in through a portal.
I figured
But-
I figured I just came in from a neighboring town or something, and they were just looking for work.
Yeah, you were in town when Thorns.
My character, my character also came through the portal. At least that's what you told me. At the time.
Oh yeah, it was Azure and Windsong.
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
came
from
through
a
the
different,
portal.
different plane or different.
Could be
I
a
guess
different play. Could be a
different
time.
timeline. Yeah, different timeline because we don't have these Thorns. So, would my character have came from the Underdark, the real Underdark, the deep Underdark?
Yes.
Okay.
Or would know. I mean, depending on your.
Oh yeah, if I
backstory.
could come from it, yeah, I definitely chose to come from the Underdark. Yeah, without any, yeah.
Yeah, technically, the Underdark is 10 miles below sea level. And you're far from that.
I'm far from
You're
home.
inside basically a huge mountain.
Also, what was in that book I got?
Oh, the love story between
Oh,
Noah and
was it
God.
just- Was it just legit an erotica book?
Yeah.
It's a novelty
Pretty much.
first edition item.
Can I try?
Was it signed by the author himself?
Yeah, who's the author?
The author was. Oh, let me look up a random name.
Well, while you do that, do you mind if I roll Arcana to see if maybe it's encrypted as some kind of like spell or
Oh
like some
no,
type
it
of
doesn't.
wizard's book?
It's just a book.
Oh,
Let's see.
Maybe it was a diary. All right. I'm just answering your question. What the book is about?
apparently a love story. I don't really care for those, so you can have it.
No, I linked it in the general.
Oh, nice. Very
Ior
nice.
is the writer's name. Ior.
There's your love story.
Also, how much EXP did we get from that?
It should automatically give you.
Damn, still not level 5 yet.
Okay.
No, did we get the XP yet after we take a long rest?
I should automatically give you it. When I finish a counter, I have to check all the boxes of what stays and goes. And it should automatically give it to you.
Oh, okay.
483 XP. For that whole entire fight?
Fights. Plus, you
Well, it
split
was one
between
giant
6.
fight. Yeah.
Yeah, the more XP, the more XP shared, the less XP got.
Yeah.
I tried to balance out, but in more monsters, it would just overrun the whole entire party.
Alright. Did we make it to town yet?
Oh, you can make it to town. I'll
Oh,
fast
they are
forward.
rowing and all that. What is my character and Chantal's character doing?
Well, Cluckerford came over to you guys and told you to. We're all away. We don't need to send all the extra help. Just telling the guards not to let anybody come this way. We'll clear it out eventually. And then Cluckerford float off.
I'll be back.
That was it.
Alright.
Alright, I gotta move all the monsters.
So we're gonna. So basically, when we come back after a long rest, we're just gonna clear up the rest of this place and get all the loot.
Let's see, put that. Alright, be right back.
By the way, I think I just realized something. It's Darius.
What's up?
Your voice is. I was gonna say your voice is very similar to somebody I know.
Oh,
Or somewhat similar.
all right.
Mannerism. Just realized that when I was listening in right now.
All right, cool. Well, hopefully I could get you completely confused at times.
Oh yeah.
Egg salad sandwiches everywhere.
Back.
Woo!
Welcome back.
Thank you. So you all arrived at town. where you want to go.
I'm going up to the guards and basically like saying like, hey, just make sure nobody else goes in there until we get back.
All
Then
right.
I'm going back to my house and making rock soup.
Okay, you see Abram. And you told him to make sure no one goes up to the waterway. And you're going to make rock soup. Anybody else?
Anyone else want some rock soup? It's a little better than normal.
We like. I assume we are in range with each other right now, right? Or
Well, tomorrow went off to go to the guard. I assume he was coming back.
yeah, I'm just checking that we're all together, or somewhat, or at least my character, since me and Chanchel came here, earlier or before the rest.
Yeah,
That's
I
what I'm
assume
asking.
you're somewhere else in
Yeah,
town.
you're somewhere else. Alright. So I'm not hearing that rock soup thing.
Yeah, so it should be. She's off somewhere. Well, the character he can't is off somewhere. So the Darius and Scoots, his characters. Oh no, Scoots off making rock soup or coming back. What's Thorns going to do?
Well, he would love to get a second level spell scroll, but that's too expensive. So I guess I'm just gonna call it a night.
And what's Winsong going to do?
Just take a nap with Buffy.
Alright.
Fluffy! Love that name. Fluffy!
Sleeping.
So just everybody's going to go to bed for a long rest. Anything else you want to do in the morning before you head out?
I'm just swapping out one spell.
I'd like to buy a quarterstaff.
Alright. I thought you already had one. Or do you want a magical one?
I was wanting to get like a +1.
Alright.
I just found something that would make all of our lives easier. Spellcasters, at least.
What might that be?
Okay, so instead of going to like the full create token, blah 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 blah. Apparently, if you click on the little wand thing next to in the notes next to the spells, you could actually assign a token directly to that spell. So you just have to cast that spell.
I know.
Alright. Yeah, no, all this time I've been going to fucking, pardon my French, going up to create, a new token every single time. Now I'm just like, oh, I could assign it. Ah.
Yep.
Jenny, you haven't made up those rules yet, have you? Or
I
gone
haven't
through
yet.
the pet lists? No.
Oh, the pet list? That's in
Mhm.
Discord. But you mean the other things?
No, I mean the list that I
haven't.
made. I mean the list that I made in my character cheat list, basically,
Oh yeah, I
just
haven't.
temporarily. Which one is
I haven't yet.
available and not?
Alright, well, I haven't yet.
Alright.
I've been busy with the dungeon. The
Yeah.
other map. Plus I'm on another map.
Yeah, I was just curious because if that was ready, that would have been my action.
It hasn't yet. Okay, I'm waiting for responses. Alright.
And say, hey man, I really need some gold, so you got to start selling some of the stuff from the shared treasure.
Will do. Alright. Anybody... then I mean, last call. Anybody want to claim anything from the shared treasure? Last chance.
Well-
Are you talking through the stone, or because where am I my character at?
The only thing 2 wants, it's... And this is more of just for in general, there's the snake meat.
Didn't we give you the spices?
I thought you wanted to sell them.
Okay, that works too. Selling them would give me more gold. I need more gold.
The snake meat is just for like us. That's like that's for like rock soup.
Fine.
All right. Anybody want to keep anything? Save anything in there? Just...
Is my character hearing this, or because?
Well, what I mean is leave the potions in there for people when we need it and stuff like that, but everything else that isn't, like wine, that +1 shield nobody else ever wants to use in the Moonhammer, let's just get rid of all that. And all the other stuff.
Oh,
Okie
dokie. I'll start doing calculations.
I'm going to assume that I'm nearby, or you guys are talking to the stone, maybe.
Well, I assumed you probably all gathered to
Alright.
the.
I guess my character. I guess my character's going to point out that he could. What's it called? Throw. Purify food and drink. It might rejuvenate some of the, spices. Or make the other meat more edible.
Mhm.
We do have that magical skull. We could probably sell that.
That's the
I
story.
could probably.
What is it?
You have been doing a great job trying to keep that secret.
Well, I always said that to you.
What did you bring the skull?
Oh no, Thorns! We got your you want to sell your Hogwarts acceptance letter?
Fuck yeah, sell it all. Sell everything.
Alright. Yeah, I just need for a price for how much a spice is and how much a keg of wine is, and I can do everything else.
Okay, I got. Let me look it up.
Ooh, the vial of liquid silver might go really well.
Well, I suggest to keep that one as a DM. You might run into werewolves or weird creatures.
What about werewolves?
Did the monks get their magical staff? Did Wynn get her staff?
Yeah, I just bought a +1 that was only 2 silver.
So you
I
don't
don't
need
guess it's
that.
really matter.
Yeah, you don't need. Yeah, those staff is +1, so and you don't need to worry about werewolves with that one then.
I don't even know how to go about buying the stuff that doesn't have prices.
Okay, wine bottle is 10 GP. So, how many liters is that? They have it in milliliters. I would say about 60
There's
GP.
there's approximately 26 and a half bottles a keg can hold of bottles.
Okay, that's. I'll just round it down to 26. So 26 times 10. That's
260. 260 gold for each one. Nice. There's that gold.
Alright, just give me a moment to do calculations. Sorry, I have to do math.
Always D&D. Math.
So, the water aura around my head is now, is yellow.
Alright. Do you mind explaining that to everyone?
Oh, so tomorrow I think is the only one that actually know. Maybe Chance? Yeah, Chance knows. Well, my character, when not in fights, he has a swirl of water, about a couple of gallons of water over his head, that tends to show his mood. The water is still crystal clear. It's made. And when he has a certain feeling, he tends to show it in the orb of water that sits above his head. And it's showing of yellow right now.
What would it be to recognize that? Arcana?
If you want.
Yellow tends to show, you know this as being a thing, is it could be optimism, caution, happiness, and if you know the colors of desire, of wealth and status, greed is considered yellow.
I'm sorry, I just got back.
Orange is gluttony. Blue is for lust. Light blue for sloth. Red is for wrath. Violet is for pride. And green is for envy. And mine is showing yellow right now.
I guess he can be happy and greedy.
Well, the colors that I showed you were the 7 deadly sins colors, but
Right.
they also have more of a more to it as that. Like you have blue could also mean trust, cleanliness, peace, loyalty, tranquility. Purple could also mean royalty, creativity, supernatural, magic. Pink is thankfulness, feminine, love, floral. Red is power, violence, passion, aggression. Orange is energy, warmth, fire, excitement. Gold is sunshine, happiness, optimism, caution. It could also be cowardly. Black could also mean death, mourning, fear, evil, depression. White could be purity, light, innocence, hope, simplicity, stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Oh, so that's the orb above my head. It's of clear water. When I'm out of combat, there's a constant swirling orb of water above my head.
Ah,
And it is showing yellow right now.
gotcha.
Alright, I just did the math. I posted. I'm going to start deleting the items from the shared.
Okay?
And I will go edit the kitty in a moment.
I forget, how much is a alchemy jug? Anybody know off the top of their heads?
Oh, what is?
I'll look
An
at.
alchemy jug?
And we look at. It's a
Okay.
wondrous item.
That way I get my infinite amount of mayonnaise, so I never die of starvation.
I see you are a man of culture as well.
Yeah, I had an old friend of mine who was big into like survival and army gun related stuff, and he told me, yeah, technically if you could survive off mayonnaise for X amount of time. I don't remember how long it was, but it was longer than I was expecting.
There's a lot of things you can do with mayonnaise. I mean, take that as you will, but there's a lot of stuff you can do with mayonnaise.
Can you kill people with it other than drowning them in mayonnaise?
You could also force someone to eat a bunch of rotten mayonnaise and use a torture device, use it to oil up a door, grease back your hair,
I can use it as
not
ice.
starve, use it as an instrument.
Is it flammable?
Not necessarily. It's more like olive oil type of thing.
Oh. That would have been
But-
cool. Just instead of using the oil in the alchemy jug, you just use the mayonnaise and set it on fire.
I mean, you could get probably a really nasty sunburn from it.
Oh, wait. Okay, it's uncommon. What's that? Okay. It's like 100.
You mind if I go somewhere and buy one?
Sure. You
All
can
right,
go to
cool.
the magic school.
Cool. I'll go to the magic school and buy an alchemy jug.
Alright.
Alrighty. I already deducted it.
Okay.
Alchemy jug. Baba booey.
Yeah, I made this simple.
Yeah, I was about to say, is alchemy jug's a pretty common thing you could probably use.
It's uncommon. So uncommon
Yeah.
would be like 100 to 500, depending on the setting.
Yeah.
I mean, if they are going for like low magic, it would be like 500. And this is a high magic campaign, so everything's on the low end.
Oh shit! I can make a gallon of wine with this thing. Hey, Lamel, let's go. Yeah, the only ones I ever think about are the mayonnaise and oil. I never actually think about the poison beer, honey. There's a lot of things you could do with a lot of these. You could do acid, poison, beer, honey, vinegar. I'm not necessarily sure what you would do with vinegar, but fresh water and salt water I could see things with. Anywho, that's beside the point. Alright, I'm gonna uncork this sucker, produce a gallon of wine, and just start drinking. While we all converse. So, now that we actually have some breathing room, I'm not constantly in combat we're constantly in combat. Let's go get to know each other a little bit better. So, I'll start. My name's Simeon Livigan. I'm from I guess you could say I'm from out of town, of a unique race of individuals. And I've kind of just come here to see kind of the pleasures of this land. Also to fight. I really like fighting.
Fighting is good.
Take another swig of my wine. What about the rest of you lot? Anybody have any reason why you're here other than for a coin?
I live here for now.
Okay.
You're just kind of a gypsy and go where the wind blows.
That's fair.
I am escaping from the Underdark.
Okay. Interesting. I forget.
How much does these people? How much do these people know about the Drow elves?
Let's see.
Well, I know when I rolled pretty high.
Simi might know, but Azure
I have
and
ever rolled.
Azure and Windsong, maybe.
Mm-hmm. What do we know?
About
What is
Dark
a maybe?
Elves.
Ah,
Drow.
So I have some knowledge at least. I know what the Underdark is at least.
My people hunt and collect slaves.
Oh, okay. That's pretty neat. I'm guessing it
And-
makes a decent bit of coin.
And
is that the Drow speaking that says that?
my character is telling you of his people.
Right.
It is a matriarchal society. Men are worthless, and only good for making babies. We are...
I assume that it would be a history roll if I know, right? About Drow? Or would it be Jenny?
It would be a... I don't know. What's your backstory? Again.
Alright,
Basically
I haven't
where-
made I haven't made much of a backstory, but I came from a different plane.
Yeah, you might know a version. So...
Yeah, of Drow.
I guess roll a... history?
Yeah, history or Arcana, I don't know which one it would be, but yeah, I can do that. Which one do you want me to do? History?
It'll be history.
Alright. Let's see. That is a 6.
Nope. You don't know. In fact,
He does not
probably
remember his history.
where you came from. You really don't know anything about...
I guess I was a little bit too isolated.
Hey, Jenny, are you running with Loth as being the goddess or not?
Well, it's yours. Deity.
Okay, so... Well, mine is Astria, the sister of... the daughter of Loth, who is of... gooder intentions, I should say. So, okay. So, our society revolves around the goddess Loth, the goddess of spiders, the goddess of chaos. She demands that the houses fight in secret. A house is like nobility. there is so many houses. The only ones that are really important is the top 10. Those ones will wipe out houses in a single night, killing over 1,000 people easily. And this is blessed by our goddess, or their goddess, Loth.
So your group is basically conquerors.
Only the strong shall be blessed by Loth.
Sword logic. There's at least somewhat honor in that.
No. It is absolutely a society revolving around prejudice, racism, slaughter, fornication, all to better oneself. No picture of anything more than just yourself.
Oh, well.
And being a
Also a
male,
lot of backstabbing.
oh yeah, tons of it. Always. Like, there's only a certain amount, like, yeah, it's terrible. But there is the Inmenso Baranzan. There is the Tir Branchi Academy, where I learn to increase our house's power. I left by faking my own death. So
Plot
I would
twist.
be always considered a heretic, because I do not worship Loth, but the goddess Astrahi.
Don't worry, Soren. You may be a heretic, but you're our favorite heretic. And I put like a thumbs up.
Well, if I was more conniving, I think I could have killed all of you back there. And stolen from every last one of you. I hope that is a sign of faith that I would not do. For my people would have. And taken the lead.
I mean, the last time I had to go into a drow society, they just used me as a chair.
Metaphorically, or
Like, it didn't matter who it was, they were just like sitting on me.
Yeah.
I rephrase, metaphorically, or actually.
No, it was a slave, it sounds like.
No, they were more like, they thought I was a merchant, and I just, like, went along with it.
I'm surprised they didn't take you, because of your race being a goodly race.
I think they couldn't tell the difference, or they didn't care enough to, between me and, some of the darker of my kind as well.
Oh, they are... Oh. Yeah, it's more flipping. Oh. Yeah, those are hunted on a daily basis.
Yeah, I believe it.
So that surprises me that you're able to only be a chair.
It wasn't long, it was only for like I was only there for a short time.
Yeah. Oh.
It was more like I was passing through.
That's, what were you dealing with? Pray tell.
I say, alright, young one. So I know you're not a young one, but still, gather around.
I am 323 years old.
I said I know you're not a young one, but still, gather around.
I'll take another swig of my wine.
You see, shortly after we were driven to the underground from the top surface, it was pretty chaos. You had people going around in bands, pure chaos. flavors left and right, people just getting picked off by creatures of the Underdark. The group I was with, it was a small group. We happened to come across this small drow community trading post, I think it was, just to gather some supplies. Wasn't there for more than a day and a half at most. But yeah, people kept using me as a chair.
Wait. So, an outpost that dealt with others? You absolutely see the stunned look on Sorn.
I say, well, unfortunately, one of the groups who came in that wasn't ours had some regular elves. That caused a big commotion, and we just took that opportunity to leave.
Yeah, I could see that. But an outpost. Maybe. And they dealt with you and only sat on you? Well, who was in charge? Is the question.
I didn't stick around far enough to get that far.
Who was the person you were dealing with? Was it male or female? You absolutely look at Sorn and he is intrigued.
I'm going to try to do a history just to see if I can remember this. It's like, I don't remember. It wasn't a big place. It was like a small. It was like a trading post at best.
Well, was a priest there? A priestess there?
I have no idea. I'm like, maybe?
Well, they would all follow the priestess's command, and you... Well, maybe they were outcasts in the trading post.
Well, like I said, they may not have tried to kill a bunch of other types of elves from another group.
Yeah, but even if you showed up there, you would be taken as slaves. Which is, I must go to this place.
I'm like, if I remember where it's at, I'll be more than willing to help you. But that was decades ago.
Oh. Well, eventually we'll get a map and place it down. And I will commute to there. Because that sounds like somebody who's escaping and dealing with other races.
But also, it was decades ago. I don't know if I had it back there since, so I don't know if what's the situation on it either.
Was there any type of monsters?
What?
Was
That's definitely
type of monsters?
Definitely a fantastic question. Was there any monsters?
You see this person asking the question. What type of monsters you see?
Like, you mean back in the day, or you talking about recently?
Oh. The story.
Okay, I'm gonna do a history just trying to see if I remember anything. Like, there was a lot. But, who are you, my, new green friend?
Surzu.
Well, Zuzu, I am Tomorrow, the Glitter Bride of Gargligold. People call me that because it's my name.
I must go research this.
A tamer. and I hunt monsters. Heard about the oozes. I figure I might capture one. And she has a light voice. And she's a goblin. You could tell.
And there were definitely lots of slaves like her down there as well.
Oh, I believe you.
No,
I heard stories.
I just told it as a matter of fact for everybody in there.
Ah, yeah. But she says, I heard stories from Gamori.
Yeah.
He was once a slave.
Yeah.
But
My
escaped.
kind are not nice. My kind are not nice.
I say, well, I like you, Thorn.
I like myself too. Showing a little bit of... I do try to save at least one life every day. It's usually my own, so...
Sounds like the Underdark is a fun place if you're looking to pick a fight. I'll have to take a visit one of these days.
My friend, never get hit by their bows. Their
poison?
crossbows. Oh yeah, you'll be asleep in no time. And then taken as a slave.
And then there's the beasties.
And then there's the mind flares that they're always fighting. Never suggest fighting them.
I've traveled a good here and there, fighting a couple things, but I've never actually fought something that exotic.
I
simply
say,
take your word for now.
I'd say, I never encountered one of those, but from the stories I heard, if I did, I don't think we'll be having this conversation right now.
Very much true, my friend.
But either that, or it might have a bunch of tentacles. Gargle.
You would be in a hive.
I've read enough parchments to know where that goes.
Yeah. Okay. So what are we doing?
Well,
do we want to go back down and kill the rest of the slimes and loot the place up? Because I want the loot. I don't care about anything else.
Well, I would love the loot. And if they got any better things than what this alchemy jug produces as I take another swig, then I would definitely enjoy.
Out of character, Jenny, can you make it so that the players can rename themselves in the chat? I was thinking that might be a good idea.
Oh, in chat?
Characters and stuff like that.
Discord?
Yeah. Well, I could change my nickname.
I thought that.
Yeah, you could change your own name.
I don't have that option when I right click on myself.
Oh, that's odd. I'll look into it later.
Alright. Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely like to get down there and finish things up. So, anyone here know anything about a giant red slime? Because I know I fought the gelatinous masses that we've been fighting for a while now, and all of those were pretty baseline, but I don't think I saw anything like that before. It was massive.
What was
Nobody?
Well,
as I was, taking advantage of the haste that you had given me, I started to scout the area. It seems like there's plenty more for us to explore that not even I was able to fully look into. seems there's actually a cave system even further in the back.
I'm like, huh. Well, maybe if I see that symbol, I know there's some other symbols that me and an associate of Thorn here might have saw once.
What's the symbol?
I tried to describe it, but I simply say it had something to do with magic, but I couldn't make heads or tails of it myself.
Ah. Is there anything about this area that I should know about? Because really all I know is that we're clearing slime. It seemed like one of y'all had some more
this
insight.
is a part of the town. Basically, the water supply is being toxic.
So really we're just killing all the things that are toxic in there. And we're hoping that's the cause.
You know, Quist and his team got jumped by some slimes and got wrecked.
Well, I think that the oozes maybe play a part in causing it. I've never heard of a bunch of slimes actually causing mass poisoning of a well, or even a lake for that matter. There's probably something bigger in hand back there than just simply slimes, though.
Yeah,
Oh,
these aren't
yes,
no
and
ordinary slimes either.
well, there has been a frequent chain of people that have been escaping us. If you see anybody with a crystal, take the crystal
Punch 'em.
away from them.
Oh.
At all costs, so they can't get away.
Are they magic users?
The ones we've encountered have been so far.
Ooh, excellent, excellent. One thing I particularly like doing is mage hunting. I have a certain knack for, cutting them at their Achilles heel, if you catch my.
When you say that, I kind of like stand between you and Sorn.
Oh, I don't mean like him. I don't hate mages. They're just more fun to fight.
I just distrust him. Says the
Well,
sword.
that too, but you could say the same for the rogue.
I look at Sorn and I look at everyone else. Rogue?
I have no idea.
Just general term for, pickpockets,
Tomorrow.
backstabbers.
Did you bring the skull?
Yes, it is in my bag.
Okay, you
mostly,
hear laughter.
mostly what
Okay. You hear laughter coming from the bag, and suddenly the sword perks up, saying, "You."
Huh?
He's looking at the bag,
What bag?
or flying towards it. On tomorrow.
Oh, can I grab the sword as he's coming by?
You grab it, he's struggling.
So I kind of go up to the Thorn and just put my hand out, and I kind of motion for Thorn to come over. No wait,
Yeah.
Thorn wouldn't know. It would only be tomorrow.
Okay.
That's right. So tomorrow kind of leans and whispers to the sword, and he says, "You got a problem with this skull?"
Oh, bring him out.
Two smiles. But then he smirks for a moment, but then he gives the physical description of the fighter and that vision that happened. And he says, does that sound familiar to you?
Oh, I know them. I forget their names. But definitely that skull. I know it well. Annoying little laughter.
I say, I'm more than willing to let you have your way at it, but for now, let's keep quiet about it
Tomorrow.
until we can determine more about it.
Soren grabs tomorrow and says, let's see what happens. They're going to have to get along either or they're going to fight. Either way, it's cool to watch.
I say, okay, but we're doing this in my room so no one else can see it.
Okay.
So, go back to my room, like push all the stuff away to the side that we can, and I place the skull in the middle of the room.
Ace laughs. Well,
Cast Mage Armor on myself.
And the sword goes right next to his skull. You annoying little skull. You drunkard. So it's you all this time. Where you been for half a century? Lying around? Getting poked? You lazy... You always like this. Always. Annoying little... Suddenly the sword taps on the skull, and the whole room shifts to a forest. And it's all black and white. And you see the 4 characters that you've seen in the bar or tavern walking along. The door shuffling right behind. The elf warriors in front. The roguelike character that you don't know the face in the middle. And right behind the fighter is the mage with the sword. So how long, says the dwarf, are we going there? How many days? The elf says 5. Oh, the elf is a male dwarf. Male elf, sorry. Need to drink some water. The wizard is a female. Human. Male dwarf. And female looks like a rogue. And the dwarf was talking to the elf. My feet hurt, says the wizard. Once we get this job done of saving the world, Or at least the best you can. And else, as long as I can protect my princess, Dwarf's like, this is so dangerous and nuts. She still this black ink or mist or something. And then suddenly the room goes back and you're in the tomorrow's room or house.
Cool. I go ahead and tell the sword to hit it some more. See what happens.
I'm tired. Too many memories drugged up. And he just goes back into the sheath. And the skull laughs.
Okay.
I put the skull back into my bag and I kind of just like tell everyone, yeah, until we figure out more about this skull, I don't want others to really know about it yet. As we can tell, our sword friend doesn't like this laughing track.
Alright. I guess I'm gonna have to go to the college and go find a spell scroll.
Oh, by the way, even with that high roll, you don't know the monster that Simi described. So, anything else?
I guess I'm heading to the college to go see if I could buy a scroll.
Oh, so I was sorry, my mic was off. I was trying to say, yeah, no, even with that, yeah, 2 doesn't know. It was just like he remembered some. He was just trying to remember, and if as far as 2 is concerned, it might what Simi was saying might be something with the that pool of souls.
I guess while all this is going on, I was gonna say my character asked this new green friend of ours if she's seen or heard anyone claiming to be an associate or a family or friend of a dragonborn or someone being a dragonborn in her travels in the area with this town.
Oh yeah, one song. Even in black and white, you noticed this was an outside area that you were in. It's not underground. And I think Azur knows too.
What exactly do I know?
Oh, that the memory you saw
Mm-hmm.
was actually above ground. And you know that you're underground and that the surface is like foobar.
Huh?
Messed up beyond all recognition. That's what you heard from the cat.
Right.
So whatever you want to do with that information, it's up to you
Much.
two.
Well, the top side is food bar, and the downside is a collection of areas, I guess, pockets. That's basically what I understand from what you said.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure what else there's to do with that.
Well, that's if you want to share the information or not. It's up to you two.
At the tops. I'm confused. What vision, by the way?
The black and white that you all
When did this happen?
experienced.
When was this?
You weren't here?
I probably was. I just don't recall it.
It was just a second ago.
Then I was. My
The
bad.
black and white.
Oh. I was not paying attention.
Oh. I'm not repeating it.
While the rest of us are like watching this, he's just like zoning out. He's like having a conversation with a tree.
Yeah. His character zoned out.
He's looking at his book, the one he got previously about his blueprints. You know, different blueprints and stuff.
Yeah, he was paying attention to his blueprints. That suddenly turned black and white for a second.
I mean,
for a minute or
a book is kind of, you know, white and black, so he would have noticed.
Yeah.
So true, so true.
Naga. Or Winsong. It's up to you.
Hey, you're gonna be mad at me.
You weren't
I'm
paying.
driving around, and the mic's been going in and out. I heard a little bit about the 5 people,
Oh, 4.
4 people.
So, anyways, short term, they mentioned some black stuff or mist or something like that. That they're off to save the world. The whole thing was black and white, like a memory projection. They were walking through a forest, and you two, Winsong and Azur, noticed
Mm-hmm.
that you were on the surface outside. Even though it was black and white, you notice there was a sun in the sky. So whatever you want to do with that information is up to you two.
Like a flash deal, or I was just like a daydream.
Like a memory, an old movie, like a Norse.
So just something recall. Okay.
Is there anything that would indicate the timeline?
I mean, where does the sun go? It's just gone.
Well, it's black and white, but you can tell it was the
I mean,
sun.
there's no more, right? I can't see no sun down here.
There was a beach.
Jenny, go on.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask if there was any indications that would give us like a timeline, like stars or anything like that, or you know.
It was sunny out. There wouldn't be any stars.
Yeah, I know.
Close.
I'm just saying. Sometimes during the day you can see some stars. Sometimes.
Well, the clothes might, but the two characters would have to roll. I
Roll
would
what?
say history.
History for knowing stars?
Not stars, but the clothes.
Ah, clothing, right.
Because there ain't no stars. Especially when it's sunny.
Well, the reason why we have we don't see sun, stars in our on Earth is because of the carbon, the smoke, I forgot what it's called, smog. Yeah,
Smog.
the pollution and whatnot. Otherwise, we might have seen it, and then it would have been more clearer during the night, especially if you're like in northern parts, like in the Arctic. Then it's basically as clear as day, for the most part. Did I mention that? Let's see.
So that would be
His
Azure
roll,
and Windsong.
and my
You
roll
don't
is dirt
Recognize the clothing. Windsong?
You said history, right?
History, right.
Getting that 20.
Halo out.
Ooh, that's a pretty good roll.
Windsong, you have a feeling that you recognize these clothes that these travelers in the forest, but they look more updated than what you've seen in your history. But not by much. It's up to you for whatever information you want to do with that.
I mean, I'm not sure how to take that. You said they seem
You
newer
recognize
compared to my stuff.
the clothes, but they seem more updated than what you see in your history. But it's not like much
But are
But
they familiar
up.
kinds of people or groups? Would I recognize them with? Can I roll a history to see if I know? Or no, I just did that. So
No, you already rolled a history. And I'm telling you, you recognize these clothes that the travelers has on. But they're a little bit more. It's like when you got a backpack and there's 1 gen backpack, 2nd gen, 3rd gen.
yeah, it's a little bit more, or slightly more modernized. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
No.
So this is, by what you can tell, by the clothing, it's like 2nd gen. To where your knowledge is 1st gen.
I guess an example would be like Bronze Age would be like 1st gen, and then you have like Iron Age 2nd gen, and so on. Something like
Yeah.
that.
So it's like an update.
premonition.
Yeah, it's like an updated version of what you see in the past.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do or say anything about it right now. I think I'm going to take time to think about what I just saw.
Alright. Anyways, anything else? Anybody?
Nope. I'm good.
Soren?
I'm good. That's the first time I've seen it, so I'm just gonna go look at some stuff and then, think about it.
Is everyone back together as a group now, or
Well, I'm
like
asking.
huddled around?
My character's
Okay.
probably plastered. My character's probably plastered at this point.
Okay, anything
So-
else? On anybody that's going anywhere? Or just going over to mull it over a little bit?
Let's go get into a fight at the fucking tavern.
I am going to go to the Mage College and see if I could get a spell scroll.
Do you want to inform Z of this update?
Sure, I'll do that.
Alright.
I for whoever suggested to doing the fight at the tavern, I say, no, you don't want to go there, but I do know an innkeeper who would love that entertainment.
Where?
I give him the full description of that goblin's
Don't
inn.
worry. You sort of know him. He's pretty... I wouldn't say shady. But goblins sometimes are
He lets
Well,
fight. He
dreamy.
has a fight club.
But
All right, off to the Goblin Tavern we go.
Jeff, he's an innkeeper, not a tavern. The tavern
Innkeeper.
owner would be a halfling.
All right, off to the inn we go then.
Two
Some
smirks,
ass.
two smirks and laughs, but stays at home with Chet. But he smirks evilly.
I'll go bring us back some good old gold buddies, and then they'll have more
Alright.
alchemy jugs.
Be right back.
I'm going to buy 20 alchemy jugs, fill them all with seawater, and drown a dungeon. Think about it. Technically, you could just, if you wanted to go into a dungeon, just flood it out using alchemy jugs. They never said the water dissipates.
Yes, eventually.
Eventually, that's the key point. Eventually, doesn't
It'd be
matter
like-
how many.
It'd be like 30 years later. It'd be like, fuck, is this like a cavern, like the underground cave system? Like, why is it taking so long?
You'd be surprised how quickly 2 gallons quickly fills up something. 2 gallons a minute. It's not the easiest thing to do.
By the way, Jenny, that poison resist I had, was that a natural poison resist? I don't recall what it was. If so, I might have told you wrong details there.
I think he said he had to be
realized.
back.
Ah.
Yep. Who wants to join me in in fights?
Yeah, I remember. You want to go to the one that's Jdeco.
Jim
Him, you want-
Deco.
Yeah, you want to go to his inn.
Jim Deco's and okay. You aren't trying to like con off my character, are you? Like
So-
he's going
Okay,
either
so-
way, but I just kind of want to know from a third person.
Oh no, so in character, two and this particular innkeeper don't like each other.
Oh, so I figured that's what was gonna go on. I was thinking to myself, I was like, he's either being helpful or being an asshole to somebody he doesn't like.
It's not that he doesn't like your character, but he doesn't like this one particular innkeeper.
That's what I figured as much. That's kind of how I thought it was gonna go down. Is I'm gonna be coming here, fucking raising hell, and it's just gonna be and he's gonna be like, fuck, not again.
So yeah, basically, what happened was, we were there, and he started making. So this goblin started making short jokes to two, and she was like
Oh no.
trying to belittle me here, and then it just like escalated from there.
Actually, Two was making jokes. about
No.
the time.
He was saying like all these things about like short people. Like I have. It was just like yeah, I have small prices. Like no. She was like, the fuck's going on here? Why are you doing all these small jokes?
No, it was
Alrighty.
Two.
Well,
That was
off to
making
the
jokes. At
inn
the-
we go.
I don't know. Like afterwards, Two was like going up to people and like slyly telling them like you tell them about getting a small discount. But anyway, there's a feud now between him. Yeah, Two and this particular innkeeper don't like each other.
By the way,
Yeah.
since you're back, Jenny, That poison resist that I have, is that a natural one or is that something that's cast? Because I can't recall what it was. If it's a natural one, then I might have told you wrong at the time because I even just looked over my character and I'm a blue dragon guy.
Yeah, it's
Originally, I was thinking to go
natural
green,
ability.
but yeah, then
Let's
it's
see.
lightning. Then it's lightning. Then I told you wrong because originally I was thinking.
I think Soren cast something on you before.
Have I cast something on somebody before?
Did you cast something for poison resisting?
No.
No,
No.
poison resist.
Did you drink
Yeah, I
a
think
potion of
that's-
poison resisting?
No.
Oh,
I
yeah,
thought he did his
no.
wind stuff.
No.
His wind.
I did my wind thing,
Poison?
yeah. But the poison
Okay.
resist, I think it's a natural resist, but it's the wrong resist.
Yeah, it's the
It's supposed to be
type
lightning
of
resist.
dragon
Yeah,
that you pick.
it's supposed to be lightning. Originally, I was thinking to go green, but then I decided to go blue instead. I just forgot
Oh
about
yeah,
it.
that's right. So it would be lightning
Yeah,
resist instead of poison.
yeah.
Yeah, that's because I let all of you change stuff.
Unless it was
With
my
that
armor
one.
that gives me unless it's my armor that gives me poison resist. Yeah, I think it was the armor.
Let's
Yeah,
see,
armor.
the- Armor.
Maybe it was
Armor.
maybe it was my armor. Because it did add
Oh
some
yeah,
kind of
that's right.
yeah.
Because you're a dabber.
Yeah.
What type of dragon
it-
did you pick?
In blue.
Okay,
Oh,
so
well, I'm
you
not a
would
dragon,
have-
but
well, dragon man.
yeah,
You still get to pick a type.
yeah. And that's the blue one. That's the lightning resist. So you gotta add that to conditions, I guess, just so you have that visible.
Yeah, you got circle of the wind.
Yeah, that's the
That's,
spell that I cast. I'm not sure if it's
Yeah.
still lasting or not, but it lasts for a
Let me
good
see.
while, 8 hours.
Dragon man. Alignment. Religion. Resistance. Dragon men are. Oh, no, that's not.
Yo,
Let's see, relations.
draconic heritage is all at the
Legacy.
bottom.
Also. Oh, yeah. I see it.
And blue is lightning resistance.
Resist. So I gotta add that.
Yeah, the blue.
Add the condition.
hmm And since I am, I was gonna say, and since I am a dragon man, then technically I wouldn't have a family because we are made or fused. And I assume I wouldn't be, gone to be fused willingly. So it'd be a tragic history. Right?
Alright. Yep.
I would assume so.
Yeah, you haven't made your
Yeah.
backstory.
And that's why I'm asking, because I'm thinking Dragon Man wouldn't technically have a family, so it wouldn't make sense to have a family
But they
because
would
they're
have-
fused.
Mentors. Friends.
True.
Don't have to have a a family. But you got mentors.
Yeah, I would
friends.
Yeah, I know. I have that in the description.
Acquaintances.
For now, at least. Yeah. It's like contacts or friends/friends. And I was also curious, with my current skill and abilities, would I be able to make some of the construct pets?
I haven't
As an
decided
example-
that yet.
As an
Remember?
example, Yeah, the carpet and so on.
You should be able to. But I haven't
Yeah, I would imagine.
came up
Yeah, I get
like
it.
prices
Yeah,
or how to make
yeah,
it.
yeah. Yeah, I would imagine so, since it is a construct that I can probably make any construct, just takes time and resources.
Plus, there's mining. You're
Hmm?
on your long rest. You could go into the mines to mine the metal,
Right.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
I guess my guy will do that a little bit. If there's time.
So it doesn't necessarily have to cost.
Through that.
It just takes a
Yeah.
long rest.
Also, have I made it to the inn yet?
Yes, you have. But
Alrighty.
it's closed.
Oh,
And
why is it
says a sign.
closed?
It says closed for renovations.
I'll look through the window.
You see some people there. Magically
Were they-
moving dirt and rock.
Oh, so they're actually constructing stuff.
Oh yeah.
Lame. Fight over there. I guess I will for another inn.
Do you
Or
want to roll
tavern.
an insight?
Yeah, let me go roll insight. $21.
It looks like an arena that they're building.
Start banging on the window and be like, hey, you got an arena over there. Let me fight in it.
They're too busy. They're working.
Bang harder on the window. Hey! Hey! Let me in! Let me fight!
A woman comes up to the window. Say, "Oh, a dwarven woman. We're busy."
Let me fight! I see the arena over there.
The practice arena. Where we
Practice arena? That's a baby arena. Where's the real arena?
Oh, the real arena is working at the same time at a low level. It'll be open soon. You'll
When?
fight some beasts. Wrestle them to the ground.
Fine, I'll go find a fight somewhere else tonight then. Where's the next tavern or inn over?
There's only one tavern.
There's another tavern?
No, just one.
Oh god.
Because as this is a city, but the population is only 2,000, so it's small.
Okay, well, I guess I'll go, so since the inn isn't working, I guess I'll go to the tavern.
Alright.
I want to try something while I'm walking down the street as well. I want to try to get a lit torch, see if I can do the thing that the fire blowers do. I'm going to try spitting out wine that I've been drinking. and seeing if I can do like a little flamethrower thing.
Oh, what would that be? Let me look at skill.
Performance?
Yes, that would be a performance roll.
I got a 10.
That's pretty average.
We'll have to work on it. Bet you I could set some people on fire doing this. This would be a good combat thingy. Anywho, guess we'll head off to the inn as we take more swigs.
Alright. Anybody else?
Did I make it to the college yet?
Oh, you're at the school.
Okay. Well, first I'm going to tell Z about what we just saw in vivid detail.
Vivid detail.
I explained everything to her, what I saw.
Him.
Z, yeah. So, the cat.
Interesting. How vague do you want to describe this to him?
I explain it in vivid detail. Everything that I saw. Oh, I'm telling him the description of everybody. I am telling him the hair length. I am telling all the details. Where the position of the big shiny thing in the sky was. That I have no idea. I tell him about the vegetation around the area. I tell him about each individual, the elf warrior, talking about protecting the princess, the dwarf. I tell him everything, and how the princess has to or the wizard, female wizard, has to get rid of the priestess dispelled the evil mist. Yeah.
Black ick. Or
the
mist.
black ick. Yeah. And I explain it all. Can I roll an insight check to see if I catch on that he is grasping, like, more than he's going to tell me?
Oh, Z?
Mm-hmm.
I mean...
I want to know how he's taking it as an insight. That is insight.
Campaign characters. Let me find his character. Let's see, insight. It won't be insight. It would be...
He would have deception.
Knowledge. It wouldn't be deception. Because you want to know how he's grasping everything.
Hey, so what is knowledge? What do you want me to roll for knowledge?
No, I got to roll it.
Okay.
Would be insight. No, that wouldn't be it. It would be intelligence. Just straight. He grasps it pretty good.
Alright.
Now, if you want to roll...
I would like to ask him questions based upon it.
Oh, questions?
So what do you want me to roll first?
Well, you wanted to tell if he's... Well, let's just say this. He's like interesting, and he's writing it all down with a little bit of magic quill and paper. So you're asking him for his insight.
What was that? Yeah, I want to know what was that big shiny thing in the sky. It looked like plants,
Okay,
but I never knew that they were.
History on his part. Oh, where's that history? I gotta look up close. There it is. Oh, he knows what. But
Okay, I'm back.
let me think on how he's going to describe this to you.
Well, I am a scholar, so I do know what things are. I just need a push in the right direction. I am a scribe.
Yeah, but you haven't seen the sun.
Right. I know.
Have you ever read about it?
I have probably read about it. I mean,
I could have read about it, but it's been like over a century.
okay.
Or it's something he could learn more about if he had a name?
So you want me to roll history? Okay.
No, I got him to roll it to see if he knows, because he might have read it from a book. But I'm trying to think how he's going to describe it to you, because you know how things get like different throughout time.
Okay.
It's like going through a grapevine. You may say sun for one end, but changes along. That's what I'm trying to think.
But wouldn't it have been written in a book, and that he could pull the
yeah.
knowledge from there? So
It would have been written.
through the grape. So
But-
down the grapevine wouldn't matter at that point, right?
Actually, it would. Because still,
But it's the
scholars
written
would
word.
have different point of views to it, trying to describe what it is.
Okay.
Some people were arguing in a bush when a giant ball of fire was in the sky.
Yeah, they could say big bright ball.
I know the description of it. I gave him the vivid description of it. I just need the name.
That's why roll again.
Am I in the tavern with them?
You're in the tavern with Simi.
I hear someone talk. Okay, so I'm not.
So Stimmy's in the tavern now, you say?
This must
Yeah,
be
you
fucking
just
well.
Alright, so I just kicked the door open, right?
You see Winsaw just saying they're drinking. No one's paying attention to the kick. They had orcs here.
Alrighty, people, let's get fucking wild. I need a fight, and I need it now.
Okay.
I'll take another heavy
see-
swig for my wine, just letting it
Okay, I
pour over
see.
me.
Describing the sun to Soren, a big, huge orc comes up. Well, technically, out of the new arena that's being built. We're not allowed to fight. But how about a wrestling match?
A wrestling match? What, you mean we just fumble around the ground and pin each other to the ground?
Sweaty men on top of each other?
Yeah, that sounds lame. That's that lame stuff over there. There ain't no
It's like-
punching involved.
Ah, too bad. Because the rule in the city is no fighting. There are
What?
exceptions, though. There's our
What?
exceptions. Of
No
course.
fighting.
Yeah, unless you want to go into the arena. That's
Damn
being
right I
built.
want to go in the arena. Let's go.
Well, then
Who
you have
cares?
to be patient.
No.
It's still being built.
Unless
An
you-
arena in this arena,
And
no
I'm
matter
the
how built.
announcer, says the orc.
Well, you definitely have the voice for it.
So, with a deep voice, and he's male.
Come
So
on,
how
you.
about?
Come
I
on,
sign
you
you
loud.
up?
I want to fight today, though. I ain't looking for tomorrow. I ain't looking for next week. You loudmouth bitch. I bet your mother was a halfling.
I like your spirit. He just slaps you on the back.
Me and my friends just got done fighting a bunch of slimes. They ain't as
Did
tough
you
as they
take
look.
care of them?
We got a good bit of them, and we're going back tomorrow to clean up the rest. But the problem here is, with slimes, you just kind of like, when you swing at them, you just kind of go through 'em like butter. You don't really get like a real connection. It just ain't the same. It's not like beating your bare fist against, actual physical things.
And he just strokes his long beard. Well, you got a job and a half to do tomorrow.
Ha.
I'll tell you what. I'll put in a special test monster in the arena tomorrow after you take care of those slimes. Come see me in this tavern.
Alrighty then, you got yourself a deal. And I'll just go take one
And
more
he
big
shakes your
swig.
hand
Mm-hmm.
really rough because he's an orc.
And I'll take one more big swig and I'll go sit down with Winsong and the rest of the group.
Alright. So Z is describing the sun.
The sun? As in, like, the big ball in
No.
the sky?
So,
Yeah, the big ball of sky.
and he names it the sun, so I now click that it was the sun in the sky, and this means that it's on land, right?
Wait,
It's on the
are we
surface.
trying to Wait, we're on the flat. Are we trying to explain flat Earth theory or something?
No.
No.
I mean, it wouldn't be too far away from this time period, so
Unless
it wouldn't be
you're
too far fetched.
in Terry Pratchett's world on the back of a giant turtle. No. I'm
Okay.
not describing flat Earth. It's not a flat Earth.
Flat Earth?
So, as he's describing the sun to me, can I make a roll to make sure I click that it's actually what I saw in the vision?
Yes. And straight intelligence.
Okay. $18.
You get it.
So now I know it's actually on the surface. Okay. Sounds good. And I asked him if he knows if there was a princess. What type?
Well, the only
How many princesses do we actually have in the surrounding area?
Well, there's the blacksmith wife.
The blacksmith's wife.
She was a princess. Gave her royalty for the blacksmith.
Okay, that's good information, and I will head over, and I'm going to buy a spell scroll.
Alright. You see the orange and black striped tabaxi with the lisp.
Alright. Good day, my friend.
Good day, sir.
Day. I am interested in getting a spell scroll.
Oh, what kind of spell?
I'm thinking I'm gonna want to get... well, the cost of a second level spell is 500 gold, and the third level spell scroll, how much does that cost? It's still an uncommon.
What was that? I heard Thorn. Can't hear you. You're breaking up.
That's Scoots. That's Scoots talking.
Oh, that's Scoots?
Yes, who's breaking up all the time.
Oh, Shibby's here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got in here like 10 minutes ago. I'm so sorry. I was
I didn't.
in the middle of DMing the final epilogue session of another campaign, and I didn't keep track of the time. I went like way over because they were having fun and all, but had places to go, people to talk to.
They were excited.
So,
Yeah, I am here.
Just opened up.
Welcome to here. And hopefully Scoots can fix his microphone, unless there's just put it down or something.
Yeah, tomorrow's underwater. We can't hear him.
He's deep in a garage.
Good. Yes, I fell underwater.
hey,
Now we can hear you.
alright. So, I inquire the cost of a third level spell scroll. If a
That
second
would be
spell
the
scroll...
same.
Okay,
Pretty much.
I guess it's still
It
500
would
gold.
be like... like I said, this is a high magic campaign.
No,
So
that was what
everything's
you
cheap.
told me the other day. You told me it cost me 500 gold.
Yeah, but you said it was the same.
Okay,
You know,
so
rarity.
yep, it's still uncommon.
So it would be the same price.
Okay, so I'll get a 3rd level, and I will hand him 500 gold, and I will get the spell.
Was it uncommon?
Yeah.
According to the details I have, that is anything in between 101 and 500. So I guess you got to do a roll on that. That's what it costs to make it fair.
That's what I said. What it said.
All right.
Sorry.
Right.
It was like, oh, what was...
No, you specifically told me it cost 500 gold, and
Oh, yeah.
you said it was 500 gold. It was not the cheap end; it was the max.
Oh. I don't remember.
You did it last, or whenever we did the shopping. You declared it was
Dang.
500 gold.
Oh, not the goblin names. Okay, where's that? Oh, that's because we looked on a site. I just said that. Okay, let's see. The money. Oh, I had trade goods pop up. I'm not worried about it. We'll fix it. So was it uncommon?
Yes, it's uncommon. 2nd and 3rd level spells are uncommon. Spell scrolls.
Treasure table. Okay. There it is.
The spell scrolls, those are one-time use, right?
No, I'm putting them in my spell book.
Ah.
I'm
Yeah,
taking and learning them.
And that's because of your what, wizard skill?
Yep.
Is that
So,
so
yeah.
Okay.
Can a warlock do the same?
No.
Who has a warlock ability? No.
No, warlocks can only change their spells that when they level up.
Yeah. All right.
I have a giant spell book, so that's what I'm using.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just checking.
Oh, Sibby,
Mm-hmm.
what's Chant do while I'm doing
Oh,
this?
that's a good question. Not old enough to drink, so I can't go out and drink with everyone. But I guess I'll just. I guess I'll just be sitting there and watch. Oh, did they have lemonade?
I think so.
Oh, nice! I want lemonade.
Okay, so what did
Alright.
you decide?
Let me do this.
Oh, should be something of somewhat importance actually did happen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you were here for at that time when our favorite talking skull made contact with our favorite mage-hating sword.
Oh.
So,
Oh.
besides being boyfriends in the past. When they touched, they made us have this vision quest thing.
Mm-hmm.
About a group of people in a forest having an argument, saying they gotta keep the princess safe.
No. It's just the elf said.
I'm just giving the abridged version.
Alright, alright.
Alright. That's the table. That's all I know.
Okay. So, you want me to take the low one?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll buy a couple of spells then. I'll just let you know what I pick up. And, yeah, that does me a lot more. If instead of 500 a spell, I could get more.
Yeah, that's
That
what...
works.
It's like... It's in the book. Pretty much. I'm lazy, so... It's a book.
Okay. Got it.
So, Chibi,
Mm-hmm.
Chant is in the
Am I
bar,
sipping on lemonade?
sipping on lemonade. You see
Awesome.
Windsong and Simi drinking.
Alright.
Hello.
Answer. What you're doing?
My character?
Yes.
He'd probably still be looking at his book sitting in the corner, I guess, in the tavern. He just like
Okay.
like halfway listening and just just tagging along.
Okay,
I'm
tomorrow.
not sure what else. I don't have any other ideas what to do at the moment.
Well, since I basically said I was with Chant originally, after that whole thing with the skull, I guess I'm at the bar and I'm having a hard lemonade.
The duality of man.
How can you drink it if it's hard?
Yeah, that's my question.
Not with that attitude, you can't. I made some very lovely, nice rock soup.
I just conjure it using alcohol jug. I love my gallon of fucking wine.
So, Soren, anywhere else?
For that, I'm gonna head back and I'm going to put all the spell scrolls I get into my book. So my entire time is going to be taken up doing that.
Who wants to come?
So fast forward. Is that everybody in
Who
agreement?
wants to do a drinking competition?
Well,
drinking count.
well, 2 would be down.
Huh?
Well, you would have to ask the bartender.
Alrighty. Who wants to join me? Nobody? Okay, well I guess we won't do it then.
Hey, I told you 2 was down.
Oh, 2 was down? Okay, yeah, me and 2 were down, and we'll just keep we'll ask the barkeep to
Alright.
keep track of drinks.
So these are opposing roles.
Alrighty.
but it's straight D20. No pluses. No
No
minuses.
cons.
No con saves.
Oh darn.
Alrighty. Let's roll, baby. I got an 11.
4.
Hey, I did it!
Tomorrow takes a shot. It'll about be 5 drinks.
Alrighty.
So, the 5th drink, if you drink it, you lose.
Stop backing down.
Not backing down, you say, huh? Well, we'll see about that. Oh, the duality of man.
1-1.
Alrighty. 3rd time's a charm, baby. Oh!
1-2.
Alright.
Hey, let's go. I win. 3-1, baby.
3-1.
2 still not giving up. Best out of 10.
Fine. Fuck. 3-2. Alrighty. Make your roll tomorrow.
Come on, roll. Roll. No, roll.
It's
3-3. Oh god. Hey, 4-3. Let's fucking go. 5-3, baby. Six 3, baby. 6-4, alrighty.
Oh, it's a 5-5.
So yep, you beat 2 that time.
Mhm. Let's go.
Alright.
Two's not, at this point, Two's not, even though he knows you won, Two's not giving up until he passes out.
Okay.
I guess we can just skip
Now.
forward until we just pass out.
Con save. To both of you.
Con save? Yeah, I'm down. Oh no, I made a 9.
You both.
Hey, you
pass
do
out.
it better than me.
You drank too much.
Hey.
So who's going to drive the
At
bike?
least,
Oh god, you got the 2 heaviest people probably. Fucking passed out on the floor.
hey, did we at least put on a good show?
Good show. Jolly good show.
Jolly good cut G.
Indeed. Says Manford. Okay. Let's fast forward. Suddenly, you have an extra small passenger. That's with you.
Who that?
This is our new green buddy, Zuzu.
Oh yeah. I remember
Seriously.
talking to you in passing. Alrighty, boys.
say- I was interested in collecting these slimes.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, you already know what
I
to
am
do.
a hunter.
Do you want me to go ahead and scout ahead for everybody?
When we get to over here, I will summon my brother.
Alright.
And summon your brother? Oh, right. The not so friendly brother.
So,
And
disorder.
and
know
I
who's
reach
front. Oh,
I
sorry.
reach into my bag of tricks.
I'll be front. Bada boo.
Alright, 3. And I tell my brother, take the energy from him. Disintegrates the badger for now. Next roll, 5. God damn it, no! I'm using that panther as a mount because I never get to. And the okay, yeah, and takes energy from Tulip.
You have a panther?
Yeah, every time it's been summoned, it's been killed.
Oh.
It's a familiar.
Does anyone
Well,
want to give me...
technically, it's a bag.
Does anyone want to give me haste so I can scout ahead?
By anyone, you mean only one person.
Mm-hmm.
I am riding the panther so I can actually keep up with everybody.
Oh my, you want to run through the entire thing all over again.
I want to run further through it this time.
And my brother has
Haste.
8 points.
Haste is a much better combat spell than it is a scouting spell.
Okay, that's fair. I'll turn into a panther and I'll scout ahead anyways. I have 50 feet of movement
Wait.
with a panther.
Yeah. Can we just go as a group?
I suppose we could.
You could take lead and scout like 30 feet ahead of everybody. Would be fine by me.
Okay.
But can we scout over on the side where we had and start looting things?
Yeah. So let's see.
I mean, there is dead bodies of gelatinous cubes all over the place that maybe have stuff in there that we might want to
Oh,
pick
I
up.
said that they were molten. There's not a lot of stuff here. Nor treasure. It's all been
We can still check up there.
pretty dissolved. That's a wall.
This is a wall here.
Wall.
That's a wall.
It's a smoother
No
wall,
s-
but it's a wall.
Well,
Okay.
let's go investigate it real quick. We'll go look
Yep.
more into
Let's investigate the area. Let's start off slowly and move around.
it. Okay, so I'm going to be cautiously walking forward, trying to make sure that there aren't any lines about. And then stop right about here. So I'm basically just following this pathway here until we get all the way to here.
Sorn is moving up.
I assume we all had a long rest.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Long rest.
Just coming in.
And I'll start looking towards this weird wall that they've been talking about. Can I
Yeah,
try to-
we have no idea. We've never actually inspected this room after we killed everything.
Let me go inspect the wall.
Ooh, monsters. Says. Do you want to see this? She says.
I kind of like come over on the on my panther, Delilah.
She
Do
pulls
we
out a
move by
card.
turn, or do
A
we just
deck of
move around till
cards.
we?
No.
Don't forget your sword.
Oh yeah. I didn't realize that already it was still conjured up. Nope. Papa
I'll
Wooly.
just wait till the fight moves. Chant.
Mm-hmm.
Puppy!
Alright.
Puppy!
Bye-bye.
Shirzu
Puppy!
pulls out a deck of cards. She takes out a card and taps it to the rat. The body begins to dissolve into the card.
We ate the rat.
And she shows you the card. Tomorrow. And there's a rat in it.
Rat.
Alright,
Celebrating another birthday bash.
I too would be somewhat disturbed.
Mom.
Like he has a somewhat disturbed look on his face.
Oh, don't worry
Congrats.
about it.
Can I do a Arcana check? I assume that's Arcana, right?
Is
Or maybe it would be investigation. I don't know. Both are intelligence.
Arcana.
Alright,
You know.
I would love to do an Arcana check on that. 28, natural 20.
Ooh,
Do I recognize this type of magic?
this type of magic is for tamers only. What they do is any dead creature that they come across, they use a deck to suck up the body and it's all its mana into the card. And they can summon the creature at any time. It's specifically for the Tamer class. But it's a magical class. Well, magical subclass of the Tamer class.
I explained to everybody what she's doing and what is all about it.
She was still a little disgusted on it.
Pretty cool.
Oh, see, she ate the rat.
I think about it as Yu-Gi-Oh!
I was gonna say Pokemon.
And my Arcana roll
Nah.
was 6, so.
Well, Pokemon cards.
My bag of tricks is more like Pokemon.
Also, can I investigate this wall, see if there are any hidden panels or anything?
Not really. There isn't hidden panels.
Does it
But it
feel
does sound
there's some
hollow.
what?
It does sound hollow. I say with a good pickaxe or blunt weapon.
As in my
You
fist.
can
I'm
bash
gonna
right
punch it.
through. Fist won't do this. Like a good mace.
Or we could
Alright.
just search around to a next zone and call it good. And maybe it has an opening somewhere else. The wizard says there's probably an opening somewhere else. If not, we can come back to this later.
We could blow it the hell up. Anyway.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, there was a place I wanted to explore more towards this way. So I'll go ahead and lead. And I want to go... I tell the group I want to start investigating down this way.
I'm all for it.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
There was one of those blackish more slimes coming from here as well, but I don't know if it's still over there or not. I saw it scurrying about during the fight.
Well, anyways. Let's see.
DM, I picked up
Yes.
5 scrolls because it was so much cheaper.
Okay.
I picked up Agonizing Scorcher, Misty Step, Invisibility,
Yum.
Fireball, and Lightning Bolt. And by the time I got done, I have 95 gold.
Wow.
Alright. Do a perception roll. Simi.
Alrighty. Perception roll it is. 13.
Alright. The shadows is still there. And the toxic.
Well, I'm gonna toss a good old dart at it. At number 8.
Alright.
Do we need to roll initiative?
No, you gotta roll attack.
Roll. Okay. 8 to hit.
You actually hit.
Okay. I'll re-roll because of aggressive. 4 damage anyway.
Okay, now everybody roll initiative.
Woo! Woo!
Oh.
Oh! Big time.
Oh, sorry, don't mind that one.
Ooh, baby. A 20.
Alright. Wow. My initiative is 2. And my brother's would be this plus 1. 4!
You guys are uninterested in what's going on. Okay.
I guess you could say they don't want to take the initiative.
You laugh, but I've gotten 0 on initiative.
I know.
Yeah.
Twice.
And when he does that, he ignores everything.
Yeah, he goes see now.
Old age symptoms.
Hey, since I made that attack, though, before we make an initiative, can I go ahead and make a movement as well? Because all I really want to do is just reposition right here. Okay. Cool.
Okay, let's go first. Soren.
Alright. Can I see this monster here? From where I'm at?
From where you're at, no, it's a little bit behind everything.
Oh. Okay. So, at this point in time, I am going to... hold my action until something shows up, and then I'm going to cast Toll the Dead upon it.
Alright.
And that is my action.
Alright.
And Cluckerford is going to assist our frontliner, Simeon.
Alright.
He will use the help action. And he is going to fly over onto his shoulder and then when he is ready, he's going to help.
Alright. Azra.
I'm gonna hold my turn for now.
Alright. Like any hold actions?
Yeah.
No, that you want to take.
Hmm?
Like, say, when you see a monster, you can have your defender go attack. That's a held action
Oh.
until.
No, I mean like skip my turn for now. That's what I mean.
Alright. Oh yeah, that. Who's that? Who's Alud Maro?
That is my brother.
Oh, that's your brother's. Oh, his turn's up. Or was it?
Alright.
You said 33, right? For initiative?
No, he got low. He got like I got a 3. He got like a 4.
Okay, he got a 4. So I put a 4 and just do that. That way I know. Alright. Move the arrow. Okay, Simi. You're up.
Guess I'll go ahead and move back. Not. Cluckerford with me as well. And, I guess I'll... I'm gonna wait until one of those enemies comes, and then me and my sword will, bop them as soon as they come up to me.
Alright. Chat.
Mm-hmm.
It's your turn.
Alrighty. So, I think I'm not going to use Moonbeam. I'm tired of using Moonbeam. I want to use... I think I want to use... Oh, darn. It's a pretty narrow hallway. I guess I'll head on over and I'll use the help action on Simeon.
Already have the help action, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use it on our other melee man tomorrow.
Woo!
And yeah, that'll do it for my turn.
Oh, said the Panther's turn. But that would be on tomorrow's turn. Okay, Shadows.
Alright, and I'll hit him with the blip bop.
Alright.
Alright, so for the quarterstaff, with advantage. Alrighty. That's going to be 11 damage. bludgeoning. My sword will also get a hit in. With advantage.
It's
Alrighty.
still 20.
And it'll get 5 damage in piercing. And then I'll go ahead and take my bonus action to do a simple unarmed strike.
You hit.
And
Go
that'll
ahead.
be an additional 7 bludgeoning damage.
Alright.
Out of character, is that a black pudding?
It's
No, it's a shadow slime.
Shadow.
Yeah, it's shadow.
No.
Ooze.
Yeah, it won't break my quarterstaff, luckily.
Don't worry, Sammy. I heard you. It's just.
So I guess you just
Yes,
combine
I'm aware.
that. So to that one, I guess you just combine the stats of a shadow and the ooze, regular ooze.
It's called shadows. It's from.
Oh gosh, explosions everywhere.
No, I'm just
It's from.
putting. I'm getting my spell tokens lined up right now.
Okay. It's from.
I'm not actually casting them. I'm just getting things. Ooh. Oh, did it show up? Can I do my attack?
No, you can't see it. Anyways, the creature's from Creature Codex, Cobalt Press.
Yeah, I need to see it in the shared chart. I mean the table. The creatures.
Well, I can do this. Let's see, copy.
I'm sorry, I looked away for like 2 seconds. What's going on?
Well, I'm just sharing pic of the ooze.
Yeah. I was just curious about the details of that particular creature. Because the picture reminded me a little bit of like the black pudding.
That's called Shadows from the Creature Codex.
Alright.
Also Paper Golem. Anyways, what about the sword's action?
It took a swing, right? You calculated in damage for the swing, right?
I thought it was the staff, then your damage, then
So it did. So the flying sword did 5 damage. I did 7 damage with my
Oh,
unarmed.
okay.
Then I did 11 damage with my quarterstaff. So in total, I'd say 11, 16, 23 damage total.
Alright. Anyways. Oh, there's nothing to snuff out. Oh, yes, there is. The runes on the wall. This creature sends out this black mist covering a 60 feet area of darkness. Let me add the token. Which would be a 30.
Wait, a 60-foot radius or a diameter?
A diameter. Or radius.
Okay.
It's still a circle.
Yeah, but a 60-foot radius over a 60-foot diameter is a big difference, my friend.
Is it? Okay. It's
Diameter
60...
radius is
Actually,
half is from center
It
to the end.
It says 60 feet from it.
Is it radius or diameter?
If it's a 60
I don't
foot
know.
circle,
It says this. I'll copy
If
and
it's-
paste.
If it's actually the darkness spell, it's only 15-foot radius.
No, it's not.
it's
Yeah.
probably its own custom move.
Yeah, I figured as much, but I'm just saying, if it was the darkness spell. Snuffs out and
that's
extinguishing
60.
all natural light
That's
within
radius.
60 feet. No, it's a 30-foot. It says it snuffs out all extinguishing all magical light sources within 60 feet. So
Yeah.
it's 60 feet. So it's 30-foot radius.
I was right. On the circle.
Because you gotta talk about it as going forward and backwards. So everything from that person 60 feet out. So that means both sides 30 feet radius.
Yep.
The way I'm reading it, 60 feet away
So
from it
it's-
means that 60 feet away from it. So if I'm right here and something is shit, I can't even grab my token anymore. Shit.
So
Here, I'll
you
just
mean
move this.
you wanted to go 60 feet in every direction so to have 120 feet diameter?
Yes. It would be 120 foot diameter. Because it's 60 feet away from it. It's a huge diameter, yes, but that's how it reads.
Alright. Well, you're all in darkness. Now.
How many of us have dark vision here?
Oh. If
Darkness
it's
is
Yeah,
natural.
It doesn't affect
Yeah.
dark vision.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not magical darkness.
But anybody who doesn't have dark vision is affected.
Also, can I get my character back, please? Can't seem to move him out of the way.
Oh, where was he?
I'm on top.
Where is he?
I'm right on top of him right now. He's behind number 6.
Oh no, that's right, perverted slimes.
So, do you have dark vision?
Trying to see. I'm gonna go ahead and say no, probably.
Let's look at your character.
I don't see anywhere where it says. I can't even see where my sight is.
It would be in
okay,
features.
it's up at the top. Conditions, medium size, speed, senses. It should have it right next to it.
If you have it.
Dark vision.
I don't see senses.
Then you don't have it.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have it.
Oh well.
So you're blinded. Alright, let me see the condition.
Distinguishes one.
Okay, condition. Blinded. A blinded creature can't see and automatically fails any ability check that requires sight. attack rolls against the creature.
Wait,
Okay, that's weird.
the one thing that it says is snuffs out. The ooze extinguishes one natural or magical light source. So it only
Yeah.
removes one magical light source within 60 feet of it.
Oh,
Oh, well, that's really good then. Damn. That means that we're not blinded then. Awesome.
Woo!
okay. Reverse that. Yeah, I had to look up condition. That means I just get to...
But right now, yeah,
attack.
he's extinguished our light from there, so he is absolutely suffering from the blind condition. The light that we did have there is gone, so he is absolutely suffering from it right now.
Okay. Yeah,
I would
there was
offer up our former flashlight, but we sold that.
We did.
Yeah, there was just a rune lit. So this hallway should be darkened. Alright. That's it for that turn. Oh, come on. That's what confused. Tomorrow's brother.
Alright. He is gonna go. Oh, if I can grab him.
Oh, but
He will
tomorrow-
go.
Let me see. You got dark vision. Does
Yes.
your brother has dark vision?
Yes.
Spell. Light spell.
Yeah, it's he has it as a shroud and as a shadow.
Alright. I just had to ask. Plus, after your turn, your brother's turn. We're going to have
Woo!
to stop it right here.
Sounds fine. It is starting to get late.
Yeah.
It is that time.
Yep.
At least,
Your brother's up.
My brother's up.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah. He's basically dashing to get up to where Simeon is.
Alright.
And Two would ask Simeon, is there any way around?
Is there what?
If Simeon knows of any way around.
Yeah, I know of a way around. It's really long, though. It's over 100 feet to get there.
Alright, so for Two's bonus Two's bonus action, because that's how the only way he can move the Panther. Having it dash.
Oh, it's not the Panther's turn.
Oh no, the Panther takes up, it'd be my bonus action.
Yeah. It's not your turn.
Okay.
It's your brother's turn.
Oh no, my brother, he dashed. He's, hanging over where Simeon is.
Yeah. And I guess that's it.
Woo!
Oh, Duke.
All right.
We're going to call it a
Gosh.
night.
Okey-doke.
Well,
Alright.
sounds good.
Good night then.
Everybody have a good evening.
Yep.
Likewise.
Now I
See
gotta
everybody
find an
next-
orc's name.
See everybody later. Same time.
Yeah,
Same place.
Later.
every
Peace out.
week.
Alright.
I
Have
have
a
some
good
questions
night.
for you before you. Yeah, I have two questions for you before you go.
Alright.
Since I'm a dragon man, does that mean I can select another race per se? Because I'm a fusion of two races.
Oh no. I go by
No?
with what's on the race itself. If it says that, then yeah. But otherwise, it just go by.
Well, right. Well, it says a dragon man is a type of dragon skin. A dragonkin, a human, possibly other humanoid race, is fused with a dragon spawn. So that's why I'm asking.
Nah, I just go.
And if
By
there's
the race.
and if there, yeah, I was just curious. And if there was any like information on that in the books or something like that that you have access to that I don't.
Well, Dragon Men, let me look at, because they're from a book.
Yeah, I mean like rule wise, if there's like an exception to the rule or something like that.
Oh no. If it's non-ability within your character race, then it doesn't exist.
Right. By the way, in languages, it says Dragonmen speak Vulgate and Draconic. Bonus languages include Elvish, Infernal, Abysmal, Sylvan, Goblin, and Elemental. The bonus language, did I select between those, or
Languages?
do I know all of them? This says
Okay,
bonus
let me-
languages.
Look at your character this time.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm tired.
I mean, I already selected the languages that I did in the process: Infernal, Draconic, Vulgate, Common, and Celestial. But it also says here I have bonus languages that are not listed.
Okay, let me... Oh, you have it. Okay, look at top of your character. Look at
Mhm.
languages. It says
Uh-huh.
Celestial, Infernal, Draconic, and Vulgar.
Yeah,
So you have it.
yeah, I know. Those are the ones I selected in the character process. But it also says if you scroll down to the information,
Vulgar's
wait,
common. So, it's from a different
Hmm?
book.
no, Vulgate,
But it's-
Vulgate Common. Okay.
Yeah, it's
But
common.
yeah, I was gonna say the language has did select it when I was creating the character was Infernal, Draconic, and Celestial. But it says if you scroll down when you click on the Dragonman description, it says Dragonmen speak Vulgate and Draconic. Bonus languages include Elvish, Infernal, Abyssal, Sylvan,
Yeah, you-
Goblin, and Elemental.
Actually, what? Okay. Language. Alignment. Religions.
It's right below
Well-
size.
I'll fix it up. Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, I can make a note
Oh,
of it.
bonus.
I know.
Oh, I see. Basically, you only have a choice between the Elvish, Infernal, Abyssal, Sylvan, Goblin, and then Elemental.
Right.
So it's
yeah,
only-
I was thinking.
It's only
Yeah,
one choice.
a choice. Yeah. And I guess I choose Infernal on that. All right. Yeah, I was just curious because it said bonus languages, so I wasn't sure if
Oh,
there's
yeah.
like a language that you
It
pick
means
from.
like one choice of
Yeah.
those choices.
Yeah, I just had to double check. And the other question, I added something in my background. Where is it? All the way down. Alright, there it is. Let's see here. I fleshed it out a little bit while we were doing our little session thing. So the
Alright.
backstory is so the backstory is currently supposedly I contact an associate, a friend of import. They grew up together, share similar views and ideologies. They were both fused. Maybe. I mean, I can change that around, but as such, they have a bond. So they promise to give me some gold every now and again. Part of our teamwork and proceedings. I guess and then I add detail. GM decide details up front, then I add more details to it. Question mark. Astral still needs to find to get in touch with them again after they were both astral misplaced to here or now. As such, every day that passed, interest grows till they find each other. Just into details of the friend's obligation per their mandate, agreement, and contract for legality. One is the creator / dabbler, which is my character, and the other is the merchant / seller / political connection, or whichever game reason makes sense. This accident happened when they were dabbling with something, or concoction was spilled, a spell that misfired, or trade gone wrong, an accidental bag that opened and did something wrong, did something weird. And also added to his background, has a desire to make more construct like the defender, but even better or other kinds. And I added different kinds of constructs below that, so you have a reference list to go by. Then I add a question mark below. I like the idea of it, so not sure how we can make that possible. If it's possible, if you would be okay with it. The question is basically, have a baby pet child be here in his pocket or a backpack. To explain it, we can say they grow extremely in their late adulthood. They speak to Koenig, so point-wise it would be baby, child, teen, late teen, young adult, question mark, for balance sake. Because if you click on that particular companion, they are quite powerful when they are adults. So that was my second question basically, and I just wanted to share the background story so you have some information on when you create interactions.
I could see like your creature companions. Ugh. There's a lot.
Yeah, I just clicked on that. So do you just have a general list of what? Then you can just go through it and say what you think would be.
I already have
committed in game.
I already have a list of creature companions.
Of permitted creature companions.
It's in Discord. It's
in
companions.
Creatures that.
It's
that
all
you
the way
permit
up.
That you permit in the game, or
it's in Discord.
Yeah, I know where it is. I know where the list is. I'm just asking, is that the list of all the companion creatures that you permit in the game?
Yeah. That's all the
Because
creature companions that you can buy.
Right.
But something like adult dragons, definitely no. Adult
because
dragons.
I think you said something like what was it? Things above large. would have
Yeah.
died since they lived up top, like so, like gigantic.
Well, it's more like
giganteous.
they would starve
Yeah.
to death.
Because they're huge. Yeah, I mean, things about launch. Yeah, because they're huge.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah,
have,
I just haven't removed
cannot,
those yet. Because I remember
like
we talked
have
about that.
all these as companions as well, because you got a limit.
What do you mean?
Basically, you gotta have room in your house.
Yeah, in your home. Yeah. And these are not companions that I own. This is just a list, so that I have a list that I can choose from of things of companions that I thought was interesting. It's instead of just scrolling through the companion list later. It's much more simpler like that because of
Well, you can type the name of the creature. That's from the list.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know. It's just easier to have them in the creature companion area, because then I can just click on it and then I'll get the window right away. Instead of me remembering the name and remembering what they were, and then I would have to go through that list again. It's like a lot on the list. You know what I mean?
It's not really that many.
To me, it's but to me, it's more work than by picking from the list. When I've already gone through this, some interesting things in here, and then that's why I was asking if you could look through it and say what would be okay in game, based on the shard table companion list, based on the world and its existence and so on.
Well, for one, it's not every creature that's on the list.
Yeah.
Just the ones
that
I listed in Discord.
Right. Let's see. Were you talking about you're going to expand on that list, or is that the list that you are
That's like
excited on?
80 creatures.
Hold on.
That's a lot.
Well, I'm just going to find it. Companions.
It's from mostly Stibbles. Creatures Codex.
Animated. Animated headwear.
It took me like forever to just
Create it,
get
the pictures.
Yeah, to get it all in there. Every information. Or best I could.
Yeah. Of course. I was gonna say animated headwear or animated glove. They are not in the share table list.
Yeah, that's the mechanical constructs are not in there.
Right.
Because they are made and not bought. But you could buy them. It's just
I know constructs are made. That's why I was asking about that stuff earlier. What would it take to make constructs? But you said you hadn't fleshed that. Yeah, because you hadn't fleshed that out yet.
A separate thing for it.
Yeah. Well, let's do dog, rabbit, corn, commerce, bat. I gotta go through this list and compare it one by one.
Yeah.
I do believe some of these are not in the share table, by the way.
It should be. I gotta stop recording because I forgot to stop it.